We chose hope over hate, competence over chaos, decency over division. That's who we are as North Carolinians, and I am so honored that you have elected me to be your next governor.
That was North Carolina Governor-elect Josh Stein giving us his victory speech on Tuesday in Raleigh. And despite Donald Trump winning North Carolina's 16 electoral votes, Stein, a Democrat, won his race, defeating the current Republican Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. In fact, 15% of those who voted for Trump for president also backed Stein for governor. In addition, Democrats in North Carolina have broken the GOP's supermajority in the state legislature after flipping a key seat in a district just east of Raleigh. That means come January, Republicans will not be able to override any vetoes from the incoming Democratic governor. And the governor-elect joins us now. He's currently the state's attorney general. It's great to have you on the show. Congratulations. There were, how do I say this? There were some cross currents in your election that impacted the outcome. And yet, I'd like to know what you think was part of the success of bringing folks from the other side to vote for you that perhaps went beyond the weaknesses that your opponent were revealed about your opponent in the final weeks before Election Day.
I'm incredibly honored that the people of North Carolina elected me to be their governor. I'm very grateful and extremely eager to get to work on the issues that matter. And I think that's why we had success here in North Carolina, is we were able to present the really stark contrast. And it wasn't just my race. It was up and down the ballot here in North Carolina between folks who fight for people on issues that matter to them in their daily lives and who deliver in a meaningful way against people who are just extremists. And I'm really gratified that the voters not only elected me, but we defended our Secretary of State and the Attorney General's office. We flipped the Lieutenant Governor and Superintendent of Public Instruction. And as you noted, we broke the supermajority in the State House. So there's a lot on what was otherwise not a great night in North Carolina or across the nation at the presidential level. We actually had a pretty good night here in North Carolina, and now it's time to get to work.
Governor-elect, good morning. Congratulations. I know you're busy preparing for the Heels big road test at Kansas tomorrow night, so we'll try to be brief with you as you get ready for that game. But I do want to ask you about what was determinative in your race, because there's been so much talk, so much morning after, so much discussion about where Democrats went wrong in national races and some of the Senate races. Can you speak to the way you ran your campaign and what lessons might be available to other Democrats as they try to pick up the pieces from what happened on Tuesday night?
Yeah, you have to do two things. You have to reassure folks that you actually care for them and that you're going to work on issues that matter to them. People want to know that they're going to be safe in their home and their neighborhoods. They want to know that the economy is going to present more opportunities for people to have a better future. They want to know that their personal freedoms, that women's right to be able to make their own reproductive health care decisions, are going to be respected. And when you contrast that to where my opponent was, I think it was a clear choice. And the additional factor is that I have a history of delivering for folks here in North Carolina. I'm a two-term attorney general, the only attorney general in the country who's a Democrat to represent a state that Trump had won twice. And it's the same thing. I showed folks that I'm willing to work across the aisle to get good things done, because good ideas don't have a home in one party. There are enough good ideas out there. So I partnered with the Republicans to fight the fentanyl crisis. I partnered with Republicans to eliminate what had been the largest backlog of untested rape kits in the nation. Partnered with Republicans to modernize our sex crime laws to better protect children. These are issues that clearly matter to all people, because victims are Democrats, they're Republicans, they're unaffiliated. It doesn't matter as long as you're there fighting for the people of North Carolina.
So, Mr. Governor-elect, there has been, as Willie just sort of mentioned, a lot of second-guessing about Democrats, about how they've sort of left some of their coalition behind. We saw that now President-elect Trump made some real inroads with Latino voters, smaller with black voters, but a little. You obviously have had success there. What is your message? What can the National Party learn from your victory in terms of ensuring, I should say, that those groups don't feel taken for granted?
Just fight for people. People have a lot of the same interests no matter who they are, whether you're Latino, African American, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants good schools. Everybody wants an economy where they have a fair shot at making it. Everybody wants safe neighborhoods. Everybody wants their personal freedoms respected. And if you talk about those issues in a way that appeals to all people, and you show that you can deliver on them and that you have a track record of getting things done, I believe the voters will reward us.
Governor-elect, one of the issues that will cross your desk immediately, and I know you've already been dealing with it, is the continued recovery and cleanup from the hurricane and the flooding, particularly in western North Carolina, the wonderful town of Asheville. What can you say about progress there and the efforts to rebuild?
Well, this is a project of months and in many instances years. I mean, the devastation to roads and water and sewer infrastructure, the devastation to people's homes, businesses, and of course, the immense loss of life. So we have to be there for the people of Western North Carolina, the way they have been there for each other throughout this whole process. And I've already reached out to legislative leadership, the two United States senators, Senators Tillis and Budd, and I look forward to working because, again, the people of Western North Carolina, they're people. They are people first. They don't care if the person they're helping is a Republican, a Democrat, or an unaffiliated. They just care that they are a person who is in need, and that's the exact same approach that we have to take as their government.
All right, North Carolina Governor-elect Josh Stein, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning.